Adunni sat on the edge of the bed, breathing heavily. Her wrapper was loose, her hair messy. The man beside her, Baba Toby, wiped sweat from his forehead and pulled on his trousers. Outside, his wife was pounding yam in the kitchen, humming a song. Adunni was the new housemaid, young and full of life. She had come from the village to work for Mama Toby's family in the city. She cooked, cleaned, and took care of the children. At first, Mama Toby liked her. "She is hardworking," she told the neighbors. "She even helps me with the baby." But soon, things changed. Adunni had a way of looking at men, a small smile, a tilt of the head. First, it was the gateman. Then, the tailor who came to measure Baba Toby for new clothes. One day, Mama Toby's younger brother, Kunle, came to visit. He was supposed to stay for a week. He stayed for 3. Mama Toby noticed small things. Kunle and Adunni exchanged glances at dinner. The gateman started acting strange around her. Even Baba Toby, a serious man, laughed too much when Adunni was nearby. One night, Mama Toby woke up thirsty. As she walked to the kitchen, she heard whispers from the guest room. She moved closer. A giggle, a hush, a door creaking shut. Her heart pounded. She stayed silent, listening. Then, she turned back and went to bed. The next morning, Adunni was up early, sweeping the compound like nothing had happened. Mama Toby watched her from the veranda. She felt something heavy in her chest. She called Adunni later that day. "Pack your things," she said simply. Adunni didn't argue. She tied her wrapper, picked up her small bag, and walked to the gate. The gateman, the tailor, and even Kunle watched her leave. That evening, Baba Toby asked, "Why did you send her away?" Mama Toby only sighed. She didn't need to explain. The house felt lighter. Days passed, and the house slowly returned to normal. Mama Toby felt a strange relief, as if a storm had come and gone. The children no longer ran to Adunni for stories. The gateman no longer lingered near the kitchen door. Even Baba Toby stopped coming home late. But gossip moves faster than the wind. Soon, the neighbors were whispering. "I heard she was seen at Alhaji Musa's shop," one woman said. No, she's working for Madam Ronke now," another corrected. "She won't change," the fish seller added. "A snake is always a snake." Mama Toby kept quiet. It was not her concern anymore. She had learned a lesson. Some people bring peace, others bring trouble. Then, one evening, she saw Adunni again. Mama Toby was buying tomatoes at the market when she noticed a familiar figure standing by a fabric stall. Adunni. She was laughing, her hands resting lightly on the shoulder of a man old enough to be her father. He was grinning, holding a bundle of lace. Adunni turned and met Mama Toby's eyes. For a moment, there was silence. Then, Adunni smiled. Slow, knowing. She tilted her head, just like before. Mama Toby said nothing. She turned and walked away. Some things, she realized, never change. Months passed, and Mama Toby rarely thought about Adunni anymore. Life moved on. A new housemaid, a quiet girl named Ireti, had taken her place. Unlike Adunni, Ireti kept to herself, did her work, and never smiled too much at men. The house felt settled again. Then, one afternoon, Mama Toby heard a knock at the gate. She wasn't expecting anyone, so she sent Ireti to check. A moment later, Ireti returned, looking confused. "It's Adunni," she said softly. Mama Toby frowned. She wiped her hands on her wrapper and went outside. There, Adunni stood. But she was different now. Her face was thinner, her eyes tired. The confidence she once carried like a crown was gone. "Mama," she said, voice low, "please, I need help." Mama Toby crossed her arms. Help? Adunni nodded. I have nowhere to go. The wind blew softly. In the distance, the sound of children playing filled the air. Mama Toby sighed, looking at the girl she once sent away. What happened? She asked. Adunni swallowed. Madame Ronke's husband. He promised me things. When she found out, she beat me and threw me out. Then I went to Haji Musa's shop. But his wife chased me too. Mama Toby studied her. This was the same girl who once laughed in her face at the market, who walked away without shame. But now she was here, standing small. What do you want me to do? Mama Toby finally asked. Adunni's eyes glistened. Let me work for you again, she whispered. I have changed. Mama Toby sighed deeply. She thought of all the chaos Adunni had brought. She thought of Ireti, peaceful and steady. But she also thought of the way the world treats girls like Adunni, girls who think they have power until they don't. Finally, she said, go and sweep the backyard. If you truly want to change, start there. Adunni wiped her face and nodded. Then, without another word, she turned and walked inside. Days turned into weeks, and Adunni kept her head down. She swept, cooked, and fetched water without complaint. She no longer laughed too loudly or looked at men in that special way. Even the gateman, who once couldn't hide his interest, barely noticed her anymore. Mama Toby watched her closely. At night, she would lie in bed and wonder, has she really changed? Or is she just waiting for another chance? One evening, as the sun dipped low, Baba Toby returned from work. Adunni was outside washing clothes. When she saw him, she lowered her gaze and kept scrubbing. She did not smile. She did not greet him the way she used to. Mama Toby saw this and felt something shift in her chest. Maybe, just maybe, Adunni had truly learned her lesson. But the world is never that simple. One Sunday afternoon, a woman came to the house, her face twisted with anger. She was short and round, dressed in a bright blue wrapper. She didn't knock. She simply pushed open the gate and marched straight to the veranda. Where is she? The woman barked. Mama Toby stood, confused. Who are you looking for? Adunni, that useless girl. Mama Toby's heart dropped. She turned slowly to look at Adunni, who had just come out of the kitchen. The woman's eyes burned with fury. You think you can run, eh? She hissed. You left my brother with nothing. He spent money on you, and now you disappear. Adunni swallowed hard. Auntie, please. The woman lunged forward, but Mama Toby stepped in front of her. What is this about? She asked sharply. The woman turned to her, breathing hard. She tricked my brother, Alhaji Musa's apprentice. He wanted to marry her. He gave her money, bought her clothes. Then one day, she vanished. Mama Toby felt a headache creeping in. So, after all this time, after all the second chances, Adunni had not changed. She turned to the girl who had once begged at her gate. Is this true? Adunni opened her mouth, then closed it. She looked down. That was all the answer Mama Toby needed. Mama Toby exhaled slowly, then pointed at the gate. Pack your things, she said, voice firm, and this time don't come back. Adunni's hands trembled. She looked around, as if searching for mercy. But there was none left. With slow, heavy steps, she walked to her small room, gathered her belongings, and left without another word. Mama Toby watched her go, knowing this was the last time. Some people never change. Months passed, and life in Mama Toby's house returned to normal. Ireti remained hardworking and quiet, and there was peace in the home. The gossip about Adunni died down, replaced by new market stories. But one evening, as Mama Toby sat outside peeling yam, she heard whispers from two women passing by. "Did you hear about Adunni?" one asked. Mama Toby's hand stilled. The second woman gasped. "What happened?" "She's in trouble again," the first woman said. "I heard she was staying with one rich man, but his wife caught them. They dragged her to the police station." "Ah, that girl will never learn," the other woman said. "She thinks beauty will feed her forever." Their voices faded as they walked on, leaving Mama Toby deep in thought. She should have felt nothing. After all, she had given Adunni chances, more than she deserved. But as she sat there, staring at the half-peeled yam in her hands, she felt something close to sadness. Adunni had once been just a girl, full of life and promise. Maybe if she had made different choices, or if someone had guided her better, things would have been different. But now, she was just another lost name in the city, swallowed by the same world she thought she could control. Mama Toby shook her head and went back to peeling her yam. Life would go on, just as it always did. Weeks later, the story of Adunni faded, like all gossip eventually does. Mama Toby hardly thought of her anymore until one fateful afternoon. It was market day and the sun was hot. Mama Toby had just finished buying vegetables when she saw a small crowd gathered near the roadside. Curious, she moved closer. There, sitting on the ground, was a thin, tired-looking woman. Her hair was unkempt, her wrapper dirty. She hugged herself, eyes empty. It was Adunni. Mama Toby's chest tightened. This was not the girl she once knew. The girl who walked with pride, who laughed boldly, who held men's attention like magic. This was someone else, someone broken. "She has been here for days," a woman beside Mama Toby murmured. "Begging for food, no one wants to take her in." Mama Toby swallowed hard. Adunni looked up then, and their eyes met. For the first time, there was no smile, no tilt of the head, no mischief. Only quiet shame. Mama Toby could have walked away. She had every reason to. Adunni had made her choices, but something inside her, something deep, refused to move. Without a word, she reached into her basket, pulled out a loaf of bread, and placed it in front of Adunni. Adunni stared at it, then at Mama Toby. Her lips parted as if to speak, but no words came. Mama Toby turned and walked away, her heart heavy. She didn't look back. Some people never change, but sometimes life changes them for you. That was the last time Mama Toby saw Adunni. Weeks later, she heard a passing rumor. Adunni had left the city, gone back to her village, or maybe somewhere else. No one knew for sure. Mama Toby never asked. Some people come into your life like a storm, stirring everything, then disappearing just as quickly. One evening, as she sat outside watching her children play, she thought about Adunni one last time. She hoped wherever she was, that life had finally taught her what she refused to learn. Then, with a quiet sigh, Mama Toby let the thought go. Some stories, after all, are meant to end. Moral of the story: charm without wisdom is dangerous. Adunni's beauty opened many doors, but her reckless behavior led to her downfall. True success is built on character, not just attractiveness. No one is untouchable. Adunni believed she could always escape consequences, but life humbled her. No matter how smart or powerful someone thinks they are, bad choices will catch up with them. A home is built on trust. Mama Toby's household fell into chaos because of deception. A peaceful home requires honesty, respect, and loyalty. Second chances don't last forever. Adunni had many opportunities to change, but she wasted them. People may forgive, but they won't always keep saving you. Kindness has limits. Mama Toby showed mercy, but she also knew when to walk away. Being kind doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. Pride leads to downfall, but humility can save you. If Adunni had learned humility, she might have found redemption. Arrogance blinds people to their mistakes, but humility allows them to grow. Life teaches lessons the hard way. Adunni refused to listen when she had comfort. In the end, life became her teacher, harsh, unforgiving, and final. Come to the end of this story, guys. Please comment in the comments section what you've learned so far in this story. And if you are coming across my channel for the first time, please join us as we keep these timeless stories alive. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications bell so you never miss a new tale. Like, comment, and share this video. Thanks!